What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games. And in today's video, we're going to talk about some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet rumors, riddles, and leak updates. And some of these are very interesting. You know, we got some Riddler coup stuff, but we also got some images from other sources. And it's going to be very interesting to see what actually ends up being true. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Starting off with the Riddler coup update. Riddler coup on July 1st tweeted out, PDY. And what does that matter? Why does the date actually matter? Well, it matters because Riddler Coup posted this calendar, and the month of June was all about new Pokemon, but the month of July, you know, because he tweeted on July 1st, is about characters. So there is a good chance that this tweet is referring to a brand new Pokemon character. So maybe like some gym leaders, important like story characters, Elite Four, maybe the champion. We just don't know. There's not a lot to work off of this, but we're going to probably be getting more information about this, so stay tuned for more information about gym leaders and all that other good stuff. And then Riddler Coup tweets this out. If I add vowels, you would know what I mean, but I won't. So obviously, if we are looking at the term PDY and we add vowels, and he says vowels with an S, this is going to spell out payday. So what does that actually mean? Well, so part of me was thinking, well, maybe this has to do with like a character because it's July thing. But if we talk about payday, and I think of Meowth, but we already saw a regular Meowth in the trailer, so I sort of doubt that we're going to be getting a new Meowth evolution or something like that. But maybe payday has to refer to the Objectmon again. And when you think of payday, I'm thinking about getting money, and I'm thinking about coins, and I'm thinking about some gold coins. So I think we're going back to the Objectmon again. I really think Riddler Coup is talking about this Objectmon a lot. He's made a lot of tweets hinting at this Pokemon. He posted the sliced bread of the dog already as well, and I covered it in my last video if you haven't seen that. So I don't know. I really think it is going to be some sort of coin-based Objectmon and just another tweet sort of hinting at that, which is pretty cool overall. Now for something incredibly interesting, we have a trademark Twitter bot for Japanese trademarks, and we can see that on June 10th, an application was completed by Nintendo, Creatures, and Game Freak, and we can see that this is a brand new Pikachu model. This Pikachu model is very high detailed. It looks pretty good overall. I really hope this is potentially a model for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but we're going to have to wait and see. But when we look at the classification, we can see that it's for electronic games, clothes, and game tools. So maybe if this isn't for Scarlet and Violet, it's going to at least be for a new video game. So this Pikachu is probably going to be from a new Pokemon game sometime in the future. We don't know if it's going to be a mobile game, which I can definitely see this being a mobile game. I feel like there's a lot of Pokemon mobile games that come out every now and then. So that's probably the most likewise case. But maybe it's going to be a new mystery dungeon game. Maybe it's going to be a brand new type of Pokemon game. Maybe it's going to be a remake. Maybe I can see like maybe a Let's Go Pikachu for Gen 2. So maybe it could be that. There's a lot we can get from this, but something is coming from Game Freak and Nintendo soon. We just don't know when, but I'll be looking out probably within the next year, probably a new Pokemon game announcement, probably a smaller title. I wouldn't expect something crazy, but we're just gonna have to wait and see on that. Now we have a potentially leaked photo of a regional Cherubi, and it looks like someone took this photo off of someone holding their Switch in a portable mode. And there's a lot to dive into it, but talking about the design here, I will say I'm a big fan of this regional Cherubi's design. I love that instead of being cherries, that is now grapes, and grapes are very highlighted in Scarlet and Violet. I mean, there are grapes in the original trailer. There's a lot of purple going on, and grapes are pretty popular in that area of Spain and Portugal. So I can see it happening, but there are a couple issues with this actual photo. So I'm going to say this. If you ever see a photo of what looks to be some off-screen a picture of a Pokemon or something like this in this type of format where it looks like it's on a Switch system, it is 99% fake. The reality is this is not how game development works. This would assume that someone would have the final version of the game running on a Switch. The game is not done. We are pretty far out. They're going to be working on the game probably until about a month out from the release date of November 18th, and then they'll start printing the cartridges and then shipping them out. Once we're within that month, I can see something like this actually being a thing, but you can see that there is a lot of blur going on around here on the sides, and it just looks very sketchy and suspect to me. So I would never think a type of leak like this is a genuine leak. It does look like someone modeled this and then took a photo of like their monitor and then posted this. But in reality, we would never see a leak like this from any game company unless they somehow had a demo unit. But even then, that demo unit would be running on a PC and not on the actual console. The console implementation is always at the end. So I just do not see this being legitimate real, but I do want it to be real. I think there's a very cool potential leak here, but I'm going to say this is a debunk. Don't think it's going to happen, but hey, if it does happen, I won't be mad. I think it's very cool. And then we actually got a brand new one. We got the regional Tauros for Scarlet and Violet. And this was actually leaked before from Riddler Coup that we are going to get a new regional Tauros or maybe an evolution. And we can actually go really deep onto why I believe this is fake. So when we look at the shadows here, it's way too detailed compared to any other set of shadows I have seen from the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer. I just don't see it happening. They're way too detailed. But then the model is also under detailed, because you notice how in the Scarlet and Violet trailer that they showed textures for the Pokemon, like how shiny the metal was or the fur. Like there was a lot of texture going onto the Pokemon bodies. We don't have that with here. This is a very flat model for this Tauros. I think this is an awesome looking Tauros though. Don't get me wrong. If this was real, I'll be super happy. I love the red and black motif. Very cool. But it does feel like it's a little bit more edgy than they would probably go for. It just feels like some edgelord made this. And it's such a weird angle too. I mean, even part of the screen is cut off. Like, why would someone take this slanted, angled photo in the first place? Like, if I just don't see how this is a real photo. It definitely feels like it's a very strong fake, but at the end of the day, the shadows and the textures completely throw it off. And it's also something we knew about too, right? If this was something we didn't know about, then I'll be a little bit more, okay, maybe. But the fact that this was already confirmed from Riddler Coup just makes it so I'm less of a believer of this overall. Lastly, we found this collage on Chinese social media, and it's very interesting. We don't know how legitimate this is or any credibility to the person posting this, so everything's with a grain of salt, but I think it is worth mentioning. So some very obvious things to take note of here is on the bottom left corner, I'm pretty sure this is referencing the legendary Pokemon and how they're going to transform into bikes, into flying machines, into ATVs and the boats. So we're going to be using them as our HM Pokemon for the entire game. That's sort of what I have an idea of. I think that's a very safe thing. I am pretty unsure of what this thing on the top is. Maybe this has to refer to like wormholes or something like that. Unsure what this symbol is, but if you have an idea, definitely let me know in the comment section below, because it looks very interesting. The bottom right here with the pit stop, pretty sure this is going to refer to the Pokemon centers. The Pokemon centers are pretty much in like the way of like a gas station or like a pit stop. So it seems like this is where we're going to refuel, get items, and heal our Pokemon, which is in the trailer. So that's a pretty safe bet. And it seems like we're going to have mini games too, like from Legends of Arceus, where they had the balloon mini games. I can definitely see like racing mini games where maybe you have to go through like the rings or collect all the objects in time or something like that. And there's like time trials. I can definitely see like that could happening. There is that in Legends of Arceus with the different balloons. And I think that would be a cool thing to bring over. So I do hope that is somewhat true. Now, the really interesting thing here is we have Pokemon designs from Pokemon Xenoverse. If you know what Pokemon Xenoverse is, an Italian fan-made game. So these are not real Pokemon, but they could be an idea, right? And we can see that there are certain Pokemon being added to other Pokemon, and it equals new forms. So does this mean there is a Pokemon fusion, and this is how we're going to get new forms? So are they hinting at a new form of Raichu, Tyranitar, and Bisharp? Or maybe these are like future forms of Pokemon. So maybe if we add, Porygon to Raichu, we get future Raichu. Or maybe like, a lot of these Pokemon are pretty futuristic the more and more I think about it. I mean, Savali was a lab created. Porygon is lab created as well, digital Pokemon. Magearna is pretty old and ancient though. And Claydol's pretty ancient too. So maybe we're hinting at if you fuse a certain Pokemon with another, you get their future form. And maybe you fuse a certain old Pokemon with another Pokemon, you get like their past form. So we could be dealing with new and past forms, which I sort of think that may be happening just because of the theme of the game is definitely going to be time, the past and the future. Time travel is going to be a thing. So I'm really interested. But I will say, I do love the Xenoverse version of Raichu. I think the steel type's dope. I do love Bug Rock Tranitar. And Fire Steel Bisharp is pretty cool too. So if these were somehow real in some way, shape, or form, or these are concepts, I'll be pretty happy with it overall. But I wouldn't take too much truth from this whole post because we don't really have any sort of legitimate proof about this person in the first place. And right now, Riddler Coup seems to be the only legit source of info. Whether you think he's annoying or not, I think he is honestly the only good one at this moment. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this type of video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and definitely let me know what Pokemon you would like to receive a future evolution form similar to like Raichu, Tranitar, or Bisharp here. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.